What's up everyone, Max here and welcome back to another episode of the GC Informer. You know, as usual, we have a few news stories to dive right into because, as always in today's industry, there's some kind of bullshit going on here or there, so let's just get right into it. First up is that EA's stock is fluctuating after the disaster that was Battlefront 2's microtransactions. Apparently nearly $3 billion in stock value was lost. This is according to CNBC. While EA's stock is technically up 2% today, the entire value of the stock has decreased a bunch over the month of October. This is likely due to stockholders kind of freaking out over what's been going on with Battlefront 2 over the past month. There are some analysts quoted in CNBC's story complaining about Battlefront 2's early sales, even though EA technically hasn't given out numbers yet, and we're probably not going to find out until the NPD next month. Game Informer states that the up and down fluctuations of the stock do not indicate any long-term positives or negatives for the publisher, but EA are still in a precarious position with the game. Now this is very true, EA is still in a very okay position, you know, they have a whole bunch of IPs and properties, they have shit tons of money, and their stock is still pretty highly valued. This is kind of funny though, because last week EA sent a letter to stockholders stating that removing microtransactions would not affect revenue, you know, in order to kind of calm them down over fears of low earnings. This is interesting, and this is kind of the backlash that we need if we want these microtransactions and loot boxes to take a step back. Of all the companies to push it this far, I'm not surprised it was EA. I don't think anyone really is surprised that it was EA, but this is only one battle won. We still have a long way to go before winning the war, folks. Plus, as we know, microtransactions are still supposed to be coming back to this game. We didn't even get rid of them here forever. We need to keep these outbursts up. Speaking of people being unhappy with companies, Bungie is canceling the Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris live stream in favor of posting a blog about it. These live streams are nothing new, they've been around since the first game, and in them the game director Luke Smith and someone else always talk about various changes that Destiny 2 is getting in the upcoming patch or expansion or whatever it is that they're talking about at the time. But in a post on Bungie's forums, Deej, the community manager, announced that they're canceling the live stream covering the weapons and armor of Curse of Osiris, and instead they're doing a blog post on Wednesday, November 29th, in which players can expect to read Bungie's view of the game, the future plans of the game, and quote, how we're reacting to your feedback with some game updates that will arrive in the next few weeks, end quote. You know, this is on top of a lot of other Destiny 2 drama, like recently people complaining about the endgame content lacking any substance, and also the soft cap that Bungie placed on experience gathering that they didn't tell anyone about. I don't know why companies think they can get away with this kind of stuff. Gamers are vicious people, not just to developers, but to journalists, to people who cover games, to each other. People get mad just based on the type of platform you play on. Trying to hide things from them and put this stuff into your game and ruin the experience is going to cause so much backlash. Developers get bitched out for doing almost anything slightly wrong nowadays. Trying to hide stuff from gamers is never a good idea. We're a passionate bunch, even if some of us can take it a bit too far sometimes. I think we all remember No Man's Sky. And even more sad news, the first Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon global mission did not hit the numbers that Game Freak wanted. Global missions are missions where everyone who wants to participate, anyone who owns a copy of the current Pokemon game, has to try and complete a certain objective. Now these have been going on for a while over the last couple of games, and they almost never hit the marks that Game Freak and Nintendo want. They're almost always universally a failure. In fact, I don't know if there has been one that's hit the numbers they wanted at all. I think they've all been failures in that sense. Anyways, this first global mission for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was to capture 10 million Pokemon collectively from November 16th to November 27th. And they didn't hit this number at all. In fact, they barely even hit 5 million Pokemon caught. This is interesting though, because Pokemon Go actually did a similar thing where people had to catch 3 billion Pokemon and they went way past that goal. However, Pokemon Go is a bit different. You know, you have people who don't really care for Pokemon even playing it. This is on their mobile phone and it's free. It makes sense that you're going to have a lot more people participating in it. I guarantee you half the people participating in the Pokemon Go event didn't even know what was going on. In addition to this, the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon mission requires you to go and connect to the global mission link, which then allows all the Pokemon that you catch to be counted and then aggregated towards the total number. So that's Game Freak kind of shooting themselves in the foot there, huh? And last but not least for today's news, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG, yes, the game that's in the news almost every other day, is coming to China. We knew this. This is old news. However, new news is that it's actually coming to China in mobile form. That's right, on your mobile phone. Tencent, the Chinese mega hit company, the ones that also own Riot Games, the developers of League of Legends, are working with Bluehole to bring the game to mobile. Tencent actually owns a 5% stake in Bluehole, who are the developers of PUBG, and they're actually rumored to want to buy out the entire company. But anyways, yeah, PUBG is coming to mobile phones and tablets in China. This is via an official announcement that was then translated by gamesindustry.biz. This statement says nothing about if the game will make it over to the West at some point or how the game is going to reflect Chinese values, because apparently Tencent is going to make changes to the game to better reflect Chinese values, which basically means it's ultra violent and that deviates from standard Chinese values, which makes sense. You know, there are companies out there that ban games because they're too violent. That's a thing, that's fine. I just wonder how the hell they're going to adjust PUBG to factor into that. Maybe them going mobile is they're changing it because mobile's small. Maybe their reason is going to be like, oh, people can't be influenced by it as much because it's happening on a small mobile screen. I don't know, this shit gets really ridiculous sometimes. Anyways folks, that's about it for today's episode of the GC Informer. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and opinions on these news stories in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things GameCast. You know, we do gaming reviews, daily news, let's plays, all sorts of interesting content coming at you every single day of the week. Thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed as always, and I'll see you guys next time.